Welcome into Foxboro Rush. I'm George Balekji. He's Travis Thomas. Trav, I missed you, man.
Man, I love that song, man. Foxboro Rush gets me hyped up. Being here with you gets me hyped up, George. It's good to be back with you, my brother.
I miss you. I miss the music. I miss your energy. We're going to get all of that today. We got a packed show for you guys. Drake Maye working over the break before training camp really fires up in late July. But who he's working with is someone you want to know, and we'll explain why. We also go over NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year numbers, who our picks are, who we'd bet on, and also who we like to be a dark horse as well. We'll talk over-under on rookie quarterback passing numbers, and we finish up with a little talk about Hard Knocks. But first, let's get into it. Drake Maye working during his break from the team back home in North Carolina, but he plans to work with longtime NFL coach Clyde Christensen at their alma mater at UNC. Clyde Christensen is a name you want to know because this guy has been around some of the greats in the game. Spent a long time as an assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, and wide receivers coach with the Indianapolis Colts. So you know who he worked with there. Peyton Manning before he left for the Broncos, and also Andrew Luck starting in 2012. He also was a quarterbacks coach for Tom Brady when he won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Manning, Brady, full stop there. Andrew Luck, and now he's working with Drake Maye. Obviously, the question I would say is, why do you like this? Do you like this? You do.
Yes.
But what does it say about Drake Maye to be smart enough to reach out to a guy like this with the experience he has and to want to work with him in the offseason? This is a rookie taking the work ethic serious and going to the best there can be to improve him as a passer.
Listen, I'm going to give credit to him, Drake Maye, and the Patriots. This feels collaborative, George. Like, think of how far we've come. Let's have a cheers to that. You got your water over there? Let's cheers this because
how did you know? I was just taking a swig.
This isn't cheers, my brother. We
need some champagne.
This is no like snake oil salesman and Alex Guerrero.
Well, Alex Guerrero was never a quarterback's coach, though.
No. But hear me out.
Okay.
This isn't like a snake oil salesman that the quarterback wants to work with this guy and the team's not on board and it's not franchise approved and the coach is pouting. There's none of that. Like, this is a guy who's familiar with the Patriots, familiar with the Colts, familiar with the Bucks, familiar with some of the greatest quarterbacks this game has ever seen in Manning and Brady, and if he had played longer, Andrew Luck. I mean, like, there's no lose here. This is fantastic news. And honestly, I say it's also collaborative because I feel like the team said, hey, make sure you work on X, Y, and Z with Drake. Like, this is great. And here's the other part of this, George. Training camp's a month away, right? I mean, good for all of us. Good for Drake Maye, good for the Pats, good for us in the media, good for the fans. Football is right around the corner, and this kid is getting ready to go. And I'm going to tell you something. With all the reports we're hearing of Drake Maye, with the way he's working on his game this offseason, we know that will extend through camp. He's going to be ready to start sooner than either one of us think that he actually will, and that's a great thing, George. It is.
All right. I like that. What jumped out to me, and this was a Clyde Christensen interview in early May. And his quotes about Drake Maye saying he's great, and he put him in the same sentence as Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, which people roll their eyes at. This is a guy that's smart. And he said, why? And it was, but he processes information extremely well, a lot like Peyton. That alone, period, stop, right there, I am sold. Because if you like his processing, to me, that was his biggest area of growth of need that he has to grow coming out of college into the NFL. His processing and his footwork. We know the emphasis the Patriots are putting on his footwork, whether in shotgun, whether under center, working on his drops. That's all we've seen drill into his head all throughout rookie minicamp and the offseason. But the processing is why I think it'll take so long for Drake Maye to become the starter. But if Clyde Christensen sees that, and you think of these coaches with this experience, they're not just going to throw that comparison away. They're going to pump up their guys. They're going to talk highly of them. But he could have just said, I love Drake Maye's processing. He's getting knocked for that. I think it's a lot better than people give him credit for, because think about what he dealt with the bad offensive line, bad receiving group, and a new offensive coordinator in UNC. No. He says he reminds me of Peyton because of his processing. Peyton effing Manning. I love hearing that about Drake Maye coming from Clyde Christensen. With a guy with his rapport and his history in the NFL and his reputation, he wouldn't want to ruin it just to boost Drake Maye, but he puts him there. Then he says he has a humbleness and a humility like Tom that players play for him. You have processing like Peyton Manning and leadership like Tom Brady. And you have an arm like Justin Herbert and the athleticism like Justin Herbert. I love this all about Clyde Christensen. And for him to say this about Drake Maye, and for him to go after getting this praise and take this break from the team and want to work out with him is huge to me. Because this is a kid, and I've said it, we went on this, we spoke about Foxboro Rush, hearing quotes from Hunter Henry, hearing quotes from David Andrews, talking about what they've said about him. And it's work ethic, it's humility that surrounds Drake Maye, who is so talented, but is a kid that knows he hasn't done anything yet and is willing to work at it. Right. That's what I love about this.
Yeah,
And I'm not, dude, he's not Peyton. He's not Tom.
I know.
But if I'm saying that, because I know you're about to say that, but I'm saying that a guy like Clyde Christensen's been around football. He's a lifer.
He recognizes it.
Exactly. And the coaches like that, they don't just throw those names around.
For sure.
And he knows Drake is no Peyton, but he's saying, hey, this is what I see in him, the processing like Peyton Manning. Yeah. And even if it's Peyton Manning coming out of college, who didn't have the best rookie year, but it's Peyton Manning coming out of college, it's what you want. But the humility and leadership of Tom Brady, man, those are intangibles. Those are intangibles that you want in your franchise quarterback.
I was thinking of the processing like Peyton Manning as more from a standpoint of the fans, and certainly myself, who has been banging the drum for Drake Maye to start sooner than later.
You want him starting week -5.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'll take him to start the season. Like, I'm cool with that. I know that's not going to happen.
Never know.
So my official prediction's week 8. But I do. You're right. I want him starting from camp, preseason, regular season on. But thinking of Manning and his processing, his rookie year, George, I don't know if it's been broken since, but at the time, I remember he set a rookie record for the most interceptions thrown. This is Peyton bleeping Manning we're talking about. And he was an absolute stud in college. And I love Drake Maye. But Drake Maye couldn't wash Peyton Manning's car in college, okay? Like, Peyton Manning at Tennessee.
I like that censorship.
When they didn't play Florida, Peyton Manning was unreal. So, I sometimes I pump my brakes on things like that for myself because I hear these quotes. I'm like, oh my God, he has processing like Peyton and humility like Tom, and physically he's probably closer to Andrew Luck. So it's like this guy, but we do have to be patient here because Peyton Manning struggled out of the chute. We know it took Tom a while to catch on, literally, and get a chance to play. I guess in a way, like, I'd almost rather compare him to Andrew Luck across the board because that guy, day one,
I'll take it.
I mean, he willed the Colts to the playoffs, and they were a mess. So, I want Drake Maye to be the best Drake Maye, though. You know what I mean? Like, I get all the comparisons, and all that's great.
Yeah, I like that.
But Drake Maye has a lot of unique gifts that makes him who he is. And the first thing that comes to my mind as a big fan of his at UNC is I saw him running for his life a lot.
Yep.
And I saw him running for his life enough to know dude can boogie. He can dip. He can get out of the pocket and roll out on you. But I don't necessarily want to see that with the Patriots. I want to see design runs. I want to see we're running with purpose, with intention. That's what I want to see from Drake Maye. That comes down to play calling. And it comes down to something you always talk about, which is an offensive line. So we'll see. Yeah. My gut is he'll probably be running for his life as well in year one. So a lot of the gifts and the traits that Drake Maye has, I don't even know if we'll see flashes, but I don't know if we're going to see them as consistently as we could if he had the offensive line, George, if he had at least one bona fide weapon.
Yeah, you want to talk Andrew Luck, he's got to talk offensive line.
Right.
And how the Colts killed him out
there.
Right.
That's what I mean.
I looked at during his time in Indy, quarterbacks coach 2012 to 2015.
Yeah.
So, and offensive coordinator and assistant head coach 2008 starting. Peyton Manning from 2008 to 2010, he averaged 4,400 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, 15 interceptions per 17-game stretch under Christensen. Obviously, he was only playing 16 games.
Sure.
Andrew Luck from 2012 to 2015. all those first 3 seasons of him in the league, full 16-game slate. He averaged 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
Wow.
If you get that type of pace from Drake Maye, whatever amount of games he plays, but that average of touchdowns per game, cut down on the turnovers, of course. But if Clyde Christensen got that out of Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, who also, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, 2 sure be, can't miss, weren't going to miss quarterback prospects. We know Tom Brady, 199th pick, gem of the draft, wasn't great his first few years, developed, and by the time he got to Christensen, he was a refined piece. But how Christensen points out Peyton Manning's processing, because yes, he points out the leadership of Tom Brady, and in a way too, for himself, he's not taking credit for, developing Tom Brady. He knows what Tom was, but he's saying, this is what I see in Drake Maye.
Right.
For that kid to want to be around him, I just love it. Christensen, again, I'm going to the article in early May, he said this. I think he does have that awareness of what's going on around, which is huge. When do you jump on the offensive line? When do you just try to build them up? When do you give the receivers a kick in the butt? When do you hug them? He does have a knack for that, an awareness of when and where and how, and that's huge. He's a kid that's smart. He's heady. He's a quarterback. You know what all that says? He is a leader.
Yes, he is.
Drake Maye is working with the same guy that worked with Tom Brady. Drake Maye is working with the same guy that worked with Peyton Manning. And he sees parts of their greatness in him because this is a kid with his ceiling. Can be a Justin Herbert, can be an Aaron Rodgers out there.
Yeah.
You get him on the movement, which could help out this offensive line a lot.
Yep.
With the bad offensive line, you get him moving on bootlegs, get him moving in the pocket. It buys them time. Can he get the ball out in under 3 seconds and under 2.8 seconds, really? Drake Maye can do that. Working with this guy when he's away from the team, wanting to improve his game, seeking him out. Now, there are the connections between the two of them going to North Carolina and at UNC. Christensen was around Drake Maye when he was there with the Tar Heels.
Right.
But still wanting to go back to him and learn from him, I mean, this is just huge. And this is what you want. From your franchise quarterback, this is what you want.
I know Tom and Drake have talked and have been talking. There's communication there. I hope, and I'm sure he is, but I hope that Tom is talking to him from a place of sort of when Tom was a rookie. I think sometimes as OGs and as veterans, we tend to give advice. I can speak on this because I have a lot of young broadcasters that come to me for advice too. And I try to always, George, put myself in their shoes when I was that age, as opposed to talking to them from a place of now. And so what I mean by that is, yeah, sure, now Tom can look back and say, do this, this, and this. But you need to sort of look at it from Drake's standpoint and when Tom was a young rookie. And I bring this up because, as you say, Drake appears to be a natural leader. Cool. But some of his leadership qualities right now at this stage of his career, to be honest, I'm not trying to be mean, is you just got to show up, keep your mouth shut, and put in the work. That is leadership for now.
That's what he does.
Jacoby Brissett's the starter.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett is a veteran. He's the rah-rah, hey, guys, this is what we're going to do. He is the leader right now. The best way for Drake to lead is through example. Come in, don't hot shot, which it doesn't appear as though he is. He seems humble, and you just said that Coach Clyde said. But come in, be humble, do your work, put your head down, and just play your position, play your role, stay in your lane. Mm-hmm. When it's your time and you take over QB1, then lead outwardly more so, then be more verbal. And I hope that Tom's sort of in his ear for that, because Tom talks about that when he was young, how he wasn't getting reps, George. And a coach told him every rep you get, whether it's 3 or 4, go in there and act like it's a Super Bowl. And he took that literal and prepared that way. But, George, I use that example because he wasn't getting the reps, but that is leading by example. No one knew who the hell Tom Brady was. But they knew when he got in for however handful of reps he gets in for, he's going to kill it. He's going to be a pro. He's going to be dialed in. He's going to be locked in. He's going to know his shack. That's what Drake Maye has to do, in my opinion. Don't be too overly. I think sometimes rookies come in, they pop off at the mouth. They're like, I'm the man. I don't get those vibes from Drake, but I hope that he just comes in and he's quiet and he leads by example. And then when it's his time, then give us that full leadership experience.
It's big because he's the leader of this rookie class.
Yeah.
And he's coming in with offensive linemen, Robinson, Caden Wallace. Obviously, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker.
Receivers,
Exactly. Lead by example for them. Learn how to lead by example when the next rookie class comes in. Because by next year 2, you're the starter, dude.
That's right.
We can say whatever. We could, till we're blue in the face, talk about how many games he started as a rookie.
And we will.
He is starting, guarantee, week 1 of year 2.
Absolutely.
He is a starter.
Yep.
Hit the ground running, learn how to lead now.
Yep.
All right, let's talk some NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year predictions. Top 10 best odds to win 2024 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year via our friends at FanDuel. Can you guess who the odds-on favorite is, Trav?
I mean, do we even need to? We should ask the question that's coming, because I know you're going to ask me who's going to win Rookie of the Year. You should frame it like, other than Caleb Williams, who's got a shot at Rookie of the Year? Because let me tell you something, buddy. It's Caleb Williams, okay? That's the favorite. Without even looking at the odds, that's the favorite, and that's the only bet to make.
Caleb Williams is 35 to 1 to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, right. Bro,
Plus
I'll leave the show
125
right now and go bet that if that were true.
Yeah, true. Plus 125, Caleb Williams. Jaden Daniels, plus 650. So literally you see a line drawn after the top.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr., plus 750. Malik Neighbors, 15-1. J.J. McCarthy, 17-1. Xavier Worthy, 20-1. Patrick Mahomes, Xavier Worthy. I don't think he stays healthy. Bo Nix, 20-1. Zach Wilson might beat him to start week 1. Drake Maye, 20-1. He might only have 8 or 9 starts under his belt.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman, 26-1. Rome Adunze, plus 3,000, a.k.a. 30-1.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, honestly, the receivers that have quarterbacks, like
Keon Coleman,
I'm taking
Rome
Neighbors.
Adunze.
I'm taking Neighbors out of it. No, not so much Adunze, because they have other weapons too. But
he's the third best receiver.
Yeah,
Malik
Marvin
Neighbors.
Harrison, obviously Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman could be wide receiver 1 there in Buffalo.
Malik Neighbors doesn't have a quarterback either, but he's the only guy on that offense. He is the only dude they have.
Yeah, it's true. Gosh.
No, Darren Waller. Remember, he retired. He's making rap music videos.
Did
now.
he matter any? Darren Waller was never healthy. He's better off making awful rap songs.
I loved his story. It sucks what happened. But
I know.
I digress. Caleb Williams plus 125 makes all the sense in the world.
Yes,
I've come on this program before, and I've shouted to the moon on why Caleb Williams, he's not in a normal number 1 overall pick quarterback situation.
That's right.
Because the Bears, with their original pick, the 9th pick, took Rome Adunze.
Right.
They're the number 1 overall pick of the Carolina Panthers. That is normally what a number 1 overall pick quarterback walks into.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't walk into a wide receiver room of DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Adunze, Gerald Everett at tight end. And did they get DeAndre Swift?
They had Swift.
Right?
Do they have
a dynamic back out of the backfield?
Still there?
Cole Kmet's still there.
Oh.
All those weapons. Shane Waldron as your offensive coordinator. I had to remind myself about DeAndre Swift. Darnell Wright, Braxton Jones at the tackle positions.
Man, dude.
And a defensive-minded head coach who takes care of the defense. The Bears could win the division. It's tough. They have the Lions. The Bears will make the playoffs.
The
Bears will make the playoffs.
There you go.
They could win the division. Don't write it off.
I'm writing it off.
They have the framework. They just need to see Caleb Williams put it together.
I'm writing that off.
One injury could change everything, right? Then you could also say one injury could derail the Bears from making the playoffs. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams should be Offensive Rookie of the Year. A lot can change, and we can see these odds swing every which way.
Mm-hmm.
If I wouldn't go Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels could put up video game-like numbers, but I just don't see him being healthy the entire season. I said to you last year, Anthony Richardson drafted, love him, he's a freak athlete.
You called it. You called it.
He doesn't know how to avoid hits.
You called it.
Because he's built like a tight end.
Yep.
Got knocked out.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels just can't take hits. He doesn't know how to avoid him either.
Yeah.
But whenever he's hit in college, he looks like Sonic the Hedgehog in the video game when he gets blasted and the coins go everywhere.
Coins.
That's what Jaden Daniels looks like. So I don't trust he can make it through a full season. If you told me to bet someone not Caleb Williams, I would go Marvin Harrison Jr. You're playing with Kyler Murray. Jonathan Gannon is a good head coach after 1 year. I'm not going to.
They play hard for him.
They play hard. They play winning football. They drafted really well. They are competitive. It's a good defense there.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is that dude. He is him. So if it's not Caleb Williams to me, it would be a guy that could step in and be one of the best wide receivers in the league. And if he flips the switch for that offense and gets to the next level and wakes up Kyler Murray's game, Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't hate it.
I don't even think it's waking up Kyler Murray's game. You got to remember Kyler was out a little bit last year with injury, and then he got back in, then it took him some time, and then he became Kyler again. I think now with a full offseason, being healthy, he's going to come in just fine. With Kyler Murray, I don't think he's some sort of – we were talking about leadership with Drake Maye, right? Like, Kyler Murray's not a leader. He's just not. He's like – he's a new Jay Cutler, I think. I think his numbers are going to be there. He can make every throw. He's awesome. He's dynamic. But I kind of get loser vibes from him. But for the sake of this conversation and
plays video games, doesn't study.
Yeah, but for the sake of this conversation and winning Rookie of the Year, my God, I tell you one thing he's going to do is he's going to chunk that ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to catch it and run and score touchdowns and get yards and get catches. And if he stays healthy, he could absolutely win this award. The problem is, I think Caleb, you and I are in lockstep. I think Caleb's going to have the stats. I think the Bears will be a wild card team in the NFC that is open for a wild card. And he's a quarterback in the NFL, man. What more do you need to know? That's why he's a favorite, and that's why he's likely to win this.
J.J. McCarthy keeps catching my eye at 17-1.
Yeah,
but I honestly don't know if he beats out Sam Darnold. And this is a guy that I think is pro-ready.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if he does, you have to look at that number, 17-1. Best wide receiver in the game.
Yeah.
Has Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson. One of the best play callers in the game, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Great offensive line. Christian Darrisaw is there. All-world offensive tackle. Mm-hmm. The defense will be great because Brian Flores is back for another year, and they invest in that defense.
Right.
But Caleb Williams will be the guy that could win the division or get into the playoffs. I don't know if the Vikings make the playoffs, and what J.J. McCarthy has to play through. Caleb Williams, Jared Goff and the Lions, Jordan Love and the Packers. I don't know if J.J. McCarthy can put together the body of work to get this award.
Yeah.
But he's going to put up numbers. He's going to be competitive. I don't hate that at 17-1 at a sprinkle because of what he possibly could do.
I hate it. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of his.
Yeah, I know that.
I would rather bet. If I'm looking down the board a little bit, I'd probably go back to the receivers, to be honest with you, brother. I think Xavier Worthy, here's the thing with him, right? Like, he showed you this offseason a little knuckleheadedness, jumping on TikTok and making it rain. But
did he do that? I missed it.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, where did he make it rain?
He made it rain in his bathroom with his girlfriend who was twerking while he made it rain.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's not that bad. And then, okay.
There was a lot going on in that TikTok video.
The ad-lib of 2024.
Now.
Making it rain. Bathroom.
Girls in the
girlfriend,
bathroom. Twerking, baby. Now, here's what I'll say. He did it at a time when half of the team was catching felonies.
Yeah, Isaiah Buggs.
So it was a bad look for the kid in terms of like, bro, like it's another knucklehead on the Chiefs. But I say all that to say, in the end, it was a TikTok making it rain while twerking. It wasn't a felony. You understand where I'm going here?
Yeah.
So if someone in his life who cares about him cussed his ass out and say, hey, man, you got to stay focused, dog. What are you doing? You can't be doing TikToks like this. Look at half your team going to jail, for God's sakes. Get it together. You're playing with Patrick Mahomes here. This kid could be dialed in, George, could be locked in. We know he's an absolute speedster. In theory, this is the replacement finally for Tyreek Hill from the football gods, right? In theory.
And Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
So, look, if we get in the season and Mahomes is throwing ropes of 40 and 50 and 60 yards to this kid, all of a sudden, what is this price here? 20-1?
Yeah.
I guarantee that goes away. So I don't, if I'm going to take a shot at a long shot, I don't think I'm rolling with J.J. McCarthy. I think I would probably roll. The same, I guess, could be said for Keon Coleman, too, at 26-1. But I think
you know what,
Xavier Worthy's a little more explosive.
You know what with Xavier? With the new rule of kick returns?
Oh.
A lot more returns.
Yeah.
It's going to take teams a few weeks to figure it out.
That's right.
He's going to have a lot of opportunities to score.
The ball will be in his hands, right?
He's going to catch those touchdowns from Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to be returning touchdowns from kick returns.
Right.
And, yeah, that dynamicism, all right, you might have just persuaded me.
Yeah.
I don't hate that bet. I'm worried about his size, really small frame, staying healthy. But at 20-1, it's worth it.
Yeah.
That long shot for Xavier Worthy.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk a little over-under rookie quarterback passing touchdown numbers.
Okay.
We got projections. Caleb Williams, 23 touchdowns. J.J. McCarthy, 19 touchdowns. Drake Maye, 17. Jaden Daniels, 16. Bo Nix, 16. Let's start with Caleb Williams. You think he's going over or under 23 touchdowns?
Come on, dog.
Over.
Come on, baby. You know damn well. I think he gets 30 touchdowns.
No, I don't know damn well.
Yeah, you do. You just said he's going to win Rookie of the Year. What do you think? He's getting 30 dirty. At least.
30's a lot. First year in the league. But his situation and his skill set.
You take over 23.
If he can limit the mistakes, the dumb throws, obviously the ultra confidence in his arm can lead him to taking big risks. But he still is that guy under center for them. And his offensive line was terrible at USC.
Terrible. Defense, too.
Defense was terrible. Wide receiver group wasn't good. Yeah, one of his receivers had the last name Rice, but he's nowhere near to Jerry. No offense, Brendan Rice. But our producer's name is Brandon.
Yeah, not I didn't want
to think I insulted him in any way because next thing you know, I'm getting yanked from Foxboro Rush.
No, he'll just cut your mic.
Yeah, facts.
That's
won't
even
be the
worse.
first or the last time he does that.
That's even worse.
I like Caleb Williams to go over 23 touchdowns. These numbers are from ESPN.
George, fresh off the press. I just looked this up. Most passing touchdowns from a rookie in a season. It's recent. Justin Herbert, 31.
Yeah.
Listen, brother.
And he didn't play the first few weeks.
That's right.
Until Tyrod Taylor got a needle in his
That's
lung.
right. George.
This kid's going to have 35.
Hot Take City.
Oh, God. 41.
Caleb Williams crushes the rookie touchdown quarterback record.
What's the number?
35.
Oh.
35 touchdowns this season. Incoming touchdown, Caleb Williams. This kid is electric. Get ready for that.
That'll be the radio calls coming out of
I'm
Hallis
telling you,
Hall.
bro. Chicago about to turn up.
Man, the situation he's in is great. That is a good team that won 7 games, had awful at quarterback, just couldn't figure it out with Justin Fields, never got right for the system. And frankly, that might have been a front office coaching staff that gave up on him because they knew they were in line to get Caleb Williams.
Yep.
So we can get into that. But, yeah, 35, I don't hate it.
35.
What we're both saying is over 23 touchdowns.
Easily.
What about J.J. McCarthy at 19? I say under to this one. I don't know how many games he's going to start.
Yeah, this is where
I just don't know how ready he is. He ran a pro-style offense with Michigan.
Yeah.
He ran a pro offense. But this is a different system with Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Got to be smart. You have a lot of talent around you. But 19, I just don't know how many games he could play. Because Sam Darnold went from Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's not stupid. He wants good quarterbacks in that room. There's a reason Darnold was on that roster. Get the Jet stuff out of your head. Again, comes to Minnesota, same system, great, best receiver in the game, same thing as JJ. I don't know if JJ McCarthy could beat out Sam Darnold, and because I don't know how many games he could play, I don't have that confidence. I would just stay away from the JJ McCarthy.
I'm a little surprised in us for this one that we disagree so vehemently. I couldn't disagree more with everything you said. First of all, Sam Darnold sucks. Okay,
look,
and
man.
this pains me.
Look, he doesn't see ghosts anymore, man.
This pains me to say because he's one of many quarterbacks that I was completely wrong about. I thought this dude coming out of school was an absolute stud. I thought he was going to turn the Jets around. I mean, imagine how Jets fans probably feel. I thought.
Just think about the sentence you just said.
I did.
Turn the Jets around.
I did.
Anybody.
I did.
Tom
I know.
Tom Brady couldn't do that.
I thought he could. Yep. That's what I'm saying. That's how highly he sucks, bro. And so I'm not even really a J.J. McCarthy fan, as you know. But it's not that I don't think he's capable or that he's incapable of doing the job. I just don't know enough. He's never been asked to do any damn thing other than manage the game. So I do think J.J. McCarthy is better than Sam Darnold. I mean, that's how far Sam Darnold's fallen off of my list. So I think McCarthy's the starter. You mentioning Kevin O'Connell is exactly why I think they drafted him where they did. I think J.J. McCarthy's going to be the dude from week 1. I'll take over 19 touchdowns. I don't know what his numbers are going to be. I don't know if he's even going to be any good, but I think he'll get over 19.
You think he starts all 17 games?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
That's why I'll take the over.
Yeah, I mean, if he
And
gets
he has
one and
Justin
a half touchdowns a game,
Right.
let's say there.
Right.
Throwing 3 interceptions.
And you have the best wide receiver in the game, arguably.
Drake Maye, 17 touchdowns. You know what? You maybe take this number at over right now.
Yeah.
Because when talk heats up throughout training camp and getting closer into the preseason, see the flashes. And
You're right.
His processing, his
right.
footwork.
If you start 0-3.
Jacoby might actually not be the guy.
Yeah.
Well, let's think going into the season. Then we're going to see this climb up. 19, 20, maybe 21.
I agree, George.
This is a number predicated on him not starting. Vegas is telling you he's not going to start
Right.
until about week 10, maybe.
That's around. Well, that's in between what you and I want.
Right.
I
maybe
take the
week
over.
8, but it's still going to be tough for him to get through.
Yeah,
He'll have his 3 touchdowns games. He'll have his 0.
Right.
You take the over, you're getting a good number right now.
Yeah, I take the over. You talked me into that. Obviously, I was just going to say, depending where you see this working out, if you think he's going to start sooner than later, you take the over. If you're of your mentality and you think this is kind of a red shirt-ish year,
I think
he only gets in a handful of games, just don't get involved. But I think you make some compelling points. Like if he does get in sooner than later, this number goes away. I would take the over here.
Compelling points. That was my nickname in high school. Jaden Daniels, 16 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So if you look at his college career, the only time he's thrown more than 16 touchdowns was twice.
Okay.
Once at ASU, the second time his first season at LSU when he wasn't the starting quarterback until the team got back there for fall camp and was named the starter right before.
Okay.
And I remember you and I on a betting show that was once a time here at Nesson.
Yep.
We were talking about quarterback numbers, and Jaden Daniels was about, I think it was like high 20s. And I said, I'm taking the over because this is a kid who will have year 2 of this offensive coordinator system situation.
Yep.
But is the starter from the second last season ended going into this one. He threw 40 gosh damn touchdowns.
Man.
I'm getting Louisiana action on this one.
Goodness gracious.
That boy can throw the ball over the mountains over there. And I believe in Jaden Daniels of Louisiana State University. That boy can throw more than 16 touchdowns with the Washington Commanders.
Go Tigers. That's spelled G-A-U-X.
That boy is going to be a starter since week 1. He's going to put up video game numbers. He's going to be running for his life a little bit, but he's quick. But because he's quick, he could throw more than 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, well,
I'm taking the over on this.
George, I'm going to take the over too, but I got a little bit of concerns here. I'm looking at Jaden's measurables.
He's got a slender frame.
Oh, man.
Them shoulders ain't wide.
He ain't eating that gumbo down there. Someone needed to get him some gumbo and some king cake, and he didn't eat neither one of them. 6'4", 210. George, I mean, my goodness gracious. If he gets hurt, he ain't getting this number.
Yeah.
But, hey, by the way, they have weapons. I could make fun of the Commanders all day long. I mean, I'm good at it.
They got receivers.
But they have some weapons, brother. So, and, Cliff Kingsbury's calling the plays there. Should be some creativity. He knows how to work with – I mean, hell, he's just removed not too far from college himself. He'll know how to work with this kid. I'll go over. Listen, here's a hot take. If Jaden Daniels stays healthy – he'll push Caleb Williams for Rookie of the Year. He'll be right there, George.
That's why he's the second shortest odds, plus
that's
650.
Right. That's
and again, to your point, bet on his health.
Yeah.
He can make that push.
Yep.
The team success of the Bears is what sets Caleb Williams apart to me.
But
that's why you see that small number of plus 125.
I agree. And by the way, I think Caleb's better than him, too. Yeah. I think that's some of this.
Yeah.
But if Jaden can stay healthy, boy, we've seen he can put up numbers.
What do you rate my Southern accent?
It was
because you're from a man that is from the South like you.
Very good.
You're from the deep.
What's funny?
Anything south of Philly is the South to me.
So I agree with you. I'm a Marylander, right? Yeah. But people from the real South, Florida, Georgia, things of this nature, the Carolinas, they're like, you're not from the South. They look at me like a Yankee.
You're a Yankee.
But out
here
in Boston, I'm from the South.
You're the South.
It's crazy.
Bo Nix, 16 touchdowns, Denver.
Over.
I don't know.
Over. See, here's your problem. I'm going to tell you what your problem is. You
can't throw screens in the NFL, man.
This is your problem. I got it figured out in this conversation.
Let me hear it.
We learn something about each other every day, and as tighter as we get.
Yes, we do. I love you.
You love crappy quarterbacks. You think Sam Darnold is a reclamation project, and you think Zach Wilson is a reclamation. Let me tell you something.
When did I bring up
Because I already know. It was Zach Wilson. You said it. Zach Wilson could be QB1. No, the hell he ain't. Zach Wilson sucks. Sam Darnold sucks. They're both lucky to even be in the NFL at this point.
Yeah.
They should, I mean, honestly, they should be in a different league being a star. In the NFL, you stink. So here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen in both cases. J.J. McCarthy, who I don't really like, and Bo Nix, who I'm not in love with, I am in like with, are going to come in and be the starters and go over these paltry-ass numbers. It's 16 touchdowns. Bo Nix is going to get there. He's ready to play. The only person screwed in all this is Michael Penix, because Bo Nix is ready to go right now. So is Michael Penix, and he has to sit behind an actual quarterback who can play.
Yeah.
The rest of these guys don't. Bo Nix isn't sitting behind someone who can play. J.J. McCarthy's not sitting behind someone who can play. Drake Maye ain't sitting behind someone who can play. So all these dudes are going to go over their numbers because they're going to get in. Now, in Nix's case, I think he'll be the starter from week 1.
The amount of completions he had behind the line of scrimmage, because he was a tunnel screen king over at Oregon.
He is.
He put up crazy numbers in those 2 years. What was it? 72 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, I think.
Yeah.
Only sacked 10 times.
Very accurate.
But this is the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's, yes, I'm not saying I'm going under the number because I believe in Zach Wilson. I don't believe in either one. And I think it could be Zach Wilson to start the season. You put in Bo Nix, and I think it could be ugly. And then you yank Bo Nix, put in Zach. It could be ugly. You yank Zach, you put in Bo.
That
Broncos roster is bad, man.
Quarterback carousel's the worst.
That Broncos roster is bad. All right, let's move on. A little Hard Knocks here. But first, I have to tell the folks out there listening to this podcast, Foxboro Rush, the same place you found this, check out the latest episode of Boston Has Entered the Chat, hosted by myself and Travis Thomas.
Hey.
Latest episode, we have the TC, Tom Caron, an institution of sports here in New England. Join Trav, talk a little Red Sox, and the heater that team is on along with Jaron Durant. And then also John Castleberry, commissioner of the Cape Cod League, the premier summer college baseball league.
So cool.
Right here in the Cape. Join us to talk some Cape. Great interviews. Catch both those on Boston's Enter the Chat, along talking the latest for the Celtics and their draft pick that just went down. All right, let's talk some Hard Knocks in season. They're featuring the AFC North teams. Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals. What do you think of this? A little different tactic.
Yeah.
Following 4 teams at the same time.
I'm ready for it, is what I think, George. I knew we were going to talk about this, and we talked about it in our pre-show meeting, and I just felt so curmudgeon-y because, like, I was there, man. Like, when Hard Knocks started.
Oh, yes.
Like, I was there. You know what I mean?
You get an old man on me.
Oh, man. It was
back in my day.
Nothing. It was like nothing we ever saw before on TV.
Yeah.
And then
the access.
The second season came, and you were excited. And then the third season came, you were excited. And then after a while, you were like, they're doing a Hard Knocks like show too. Oh, Amazon has a, what's it called? All or Nothing?
Yeah, All or Nothing.
They have a, what's that? Last Chance U? That's like a different kind of, and what are they doing? And you know what happened is it's like going to the grocery store and like, yeah, you have your favorite thing that you get, but every now and again you walk down the aisle, you see 5 or 6 of the same version of what you get, just a different brand, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to mix it up this time. I'm going to try this one instead of that one. That's how I feel with Hard Knocks. I just stopped caring after a while because it was oversaturated and it was too many Hard Knock-like shows. And then Hard Knocks itself, they started doing the in-season. But doing an entire division, now you're spicing it up, baby. I can get behind this. This ain't like eating chicken for dinner every night. Now you're throwing me some tacos, a little bit of steak, some enchilada. Woo, come on, baby. Spice it up. Give me some of that hot sauce. That's what I'm talking about. Because, by the way, George, I mean, this could be the best division in football when you really think about it. So you're telling me I get pretty boy Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. I get Lamar Action Jackson. I get the dumpster fire that is Deshaun Watson. Oh, my God. And then I get to watch Justin Fields and Russell Wilson see who stinks the most. I mean, it's This is fantastic. Not even to mention all the coaches of these teams with big personalities, Tomlin and so on. So
Harbaugh, Stefanski.
Oh, baby. I'm back. Me and Hard Knocks just made up. We made up.
Look at this.
Oh, we were separated for a long time. I'm not going to lie. I moved on with my life.
It's like high school sweetheart.
Nah.
You go to college.
Nah, this is more
you're
spicy
done with
than
her.
that. It's more spicy than that.
Oh.
High school sweetheart's too wholesome. This is spice, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I love it, George.
Fresh out of college, little thing you meet at the club.
Yeah.
Go back to it, leave. It's toxic. You move away, come back to the city.
Come on, baby.
All right. Travis reunited with Hard Knocks. I like it.
Yeah, I'm back.
Look, what I think of this is what we're going to get. With the Browns, we're going to get an awful PR just like tour of Deshaun Watson.
Right. He's
going
really
to be the most
guy.
insufferable human.
Yeah,
it's going to be terrible.
It is.
Him yucking it up for the cameras with people, with staff members.
Yeah.
Brother, you did what you did in Houston. You
Facts.
are a weirdo. Get away from me. With the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh, great, excited, can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers, you said it. Russ is going to be awful. He's going to be a weird, spineless, just PR, again, just saying the perfect thing, trying to. He's a politician.
Yep.
Justin Fields, he'll be fun. I'm all in on Mike Tomlin. Give me the quotes.
Sure.
To me, it comes down to the Bengals, and Joe Burrow's going to steal the show.
Of course he is.
That's what it's going to be.
Of course he is.
So what I'm excited to see is a few things. It's going to be Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be the breakout star.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see Nick Chubb because we're going to get all the squatting montages.
Yeah.
This guy with the tsunami bar. Stop that. You know what I mean. Stop.
He benches and squats Delaware. I get it.
Tsunami bar on his back.
Yeah.
Bending as it should. The bar's designed to do that.
Yeah.
Let me give you guys a little meathead lesson here.
You ever done the tsunami bar?
No, I never got up that much in weight.
Me either.
It's like my dream to one day, but I'm 30 now, and my back doesn't need to squat anything that is worth a tsunami bar.
You don't have to do heavy just because it's a tsunami bar.
But you know what? That's just disrespectful to the guys that put in the work to squat a tsunami bar.
Fair.
I understand that. I'm not going to step on those toes.
Yeah.
I am not
that's fair.
worthy. Maybe one day I am,
That's
but
fair.
I'm good.
I respect that.
We're going to get montages of that. I'm excited to see Nick Chubb in a rehab process, too. I think that'll be great.
Yeah.
The personality of Jamar Chase. We'll see what we get from George Pickens. Joe Burrow, same thing, in a rehab process for him.
Yeah.
And I think the focus will be on the Bengals trying to break through and get back to that mountaintop, back to a Super Bowl, back into contending.
Yeah.
The Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes showdowns of him against the top quarterbacks. To me, it's the Bengals that capture it, and because you know why? It's all about the quarterback.
Yeah.
I can see him being the breakout star of this. But you said it, and to pick a division as competitive, with the rivalries as ruthless as what you get in the AFC North,
yeah.
If you had to do this, because this is a ballsy move, if you had to take this leap, the AFC North is the division to do with.
Right? That's the best division to do this, I think.
Passionate fan bases, too.
Yep.
Think about it all.
Yep.
And these quarterbacks of what they're trying to break through and do. And take the Steelers and Browns out of it, the Burrow, Lamar Jackson dynamic to a top 5 guys of their position.
Yes.
And then the head coaches, John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Again, fantastic.
Yep.
I didn't even get to Myles Garrett. I'm talking about Nick Chubb montages.
You're right.
Give me Myles Garrett in a weight room. Yes, I am a tool. I am a meathead. I just love watching
TJ Watt.
the work ethic that goes into that. Boom. TJ Watt
Ton
with
of
the Steelers.
guys. Here's a boring one. I mean, he's not going to get the spotlight that Harbaugh and Tomlin do, but Kevin Stefanski can coach his butt off.
Yep.
And he's probably boring.
Great beard,
but
too.
I kind of want to just get a glimpse into why he's so good I think he's really one of the more underrated coaches in the league, personally. So I want to see his process, George. I want to see what he does, what makes him tick, why he's so great at what he does. I think Stefanski's an underrated coach.
You have your quarterback eating away all that guaranteed money, and you're still getting the Browns to the playoffs and winning playoff games.
Bro, he got him with Flacco, dog. Think about that.
Got him with Flacco and winning.
Right.
Minus your top 3 tackles. Went out, added a receiver. Obviously, have Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy.
He won a playoff game with Baker Mayfield. Remember? They beat the Steelers.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Stefanski can coach.
I think the fan aspect of the Browns will be brilliant, too.
Yep.
They'll pour into the history of the Steelers. They'll hit the fan aspect of the Browns.
Yep.
The Ravens and that culture there in Baltimore and how much they love that team, which you are well aware of.
Yep.
And then the Bengals, again, with Joe Burrow. I think this is a fantastic division. The storylines we're going to see.
I'm back, man. I can't wait. I haven't made Hard Knocks appointment television in a long time. I'm back. I might watch it with you. Little watch party. Huh?
I'm down.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Let's let this bromance unfurl.
I'm down. Trev, great being back with you on Foxboro Rush. That's it for this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Watch us on YouTube and Twitch as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys same time, same place next week. New episode dropping Monday. Later.